was.
It's live.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that on there for a few seconds. The mics are off. Then I'm going to switch you guys so that you're live on the air. And I'll point to you and you can start the show.
Okay.
Okay, mics are going off. They're coming on.
And welcome to the Rotary Show. This is Past District Governor Megan Jones Holt here in beautiful Flemington, New Jersey. And today we're going to switch it up a little bit because we got St. Patrick's Day right around the corner. And we are going to talk with the fraternal organization, the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick. And I have the past president from 2014-15 with us, Sean O'Connelly. Or O'Connelly. I threw that little O in there, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I'm trying to be Irish.
Yeah.
I'm not very Irish, even though my name's Megan. Welcome. Thank you for coming out today on this dreary day.
Yes.
So, really, we wanted to come and let you promote the parade that's coming up for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, we have not only the parade, but we have a dinner dance that's coming up before that.
Oh, okay.
We have a dinner dance that the St. Pat dinner dance on Saturday, March 5th at the Farmhouse at Grand Colonial. Starts at 6 o'clock. Doors open at 6 o'clock. We have an Irish band, Danny and the boys, all the food you'd like to eat. All the beer is included, soda and soft drinks, other soft drinks. And it starts at 6, ends at 11, but it's a good time to be had. We've had this for at least 6-7 years at different locations.
And that's one of your main fundraisers is the dinner dance?
Dinner dance is not a major fundraiser. It's more of a camaraderie and exposure to the community to let us know who we are.
Okay.
You know, it's a nice, elegant dinner we have.
Mm-hmm.
Our major fundraiser is the golf outing we have every July up in Beaverbrook, so in Clinton.
So let's talk about the St. Patrick's Day party, parade, I should say, not party. Well, it is a party.
Yes, it is.
This is the second year that y'all have done this.
This is our third year.
Oh, is it the third year?
It's our third annual.
Boy, time flies.
Yes, it is. Yes, it does. So we have that. That is going to take place on Sunday, March 13th at 3 p.m. in the town of Clinton. And we will march. We have a whole crew. We have plenty of floats, plenty of sponsors. We have a good time. And then directly after that, we have a good after party at the Clinton, the town of Clinton Fire Department, which is right on the parade route. So we have ourselves a real good time. And that starts and that ends around 7 p.m.
Okay.
So we have food and beer and entertainment, a real good time.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So with the parade, Rotary marches in that as well. We get all of our Hunter and County clubs together and we have a banner. At least I hope we have a banner this year. And we just go up there and march to support the town and let people know about Rotary. And it's an awareness issue with us as well. And quite a few of us do go to the after party because it is fun.
That it is a very good time. We had a really good time last year where we had basically it was considered a battle of the pipe bands. They got up and they played to each other. It was real good.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, you're right. I do remember the first year because the after party was at the Red Mill under a tent.
Ah, yes.
Now,
yes.
see, I remember the parties.
That was a tough one because it was pretty cold
It
outside.
was. It's always cold. What is up with that?
Yeah, but in the firehouse,
nice and toasty.
It was nice and toasty. This year, we're going to expand it. It's going to be extended a little bit, extended. We had limited capability inside the garage at the firehouse, but they're having some. They're opening up with a couple of tents outside in the parking lot with heaters under it.
Oh, good.
So we will have more room for more people.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a good time to be had, and food will be served there as well.
So who were some of your sponsors for the parade this year? Because I'm sure you'd like to thank them on air.
Oh, geez, I wish I had the list that's sitting on my desk at home.
Oh, wait. Do we have them on the website?
You possibly do. I know one of our strong members or a very active member, Bill Healy. Bill Healy Designs has been one of our sponsors for many years. And
come on in.
Michael.
I'm going to switch over with you, Mike, so you can come over here and people can see you. Because they see me all the time, so they don't need to see me.
Oh.
So you can come over here.
So we have that, and we have Montrose Molders. Who else do we have as our sponsorship on the parade?
A great sponsor is ShopRite of Clinton.
ShopRite of Clinton. Yeah, ShopRite Liquors.
Yep.
ShopRite Liquors of Clinton. And ShopRite does help us out. The Kalilo family. Who else? Oh, geez, you caught me cold with that.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was
I
gonna
had a
put-
list of-
Flemington Car and Truck Country. And,
There you go.
Who else? I know I have 6 or so. I'm sorry, I got it.
And there's a number of smaller retail shops down in Clinton that are part of it too.
Okay.
And then there's sponsorships in the parade where you sponsor at a certain level, and then you can actually join in the parade and have a marching group, or actually sponsor a specific marching group. That's one of Bill Healy's favorite things to do.
Yeah.
He sponsors St. Anne's of Hampton.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, and you got all right, Unity Bank, Provident Bank, CenturyLink. Who else do we have? We have a couple. These are our larger sponsors.
Right. Okay.
I'm trying to. I had a list of them. I got them sitting again. I got it sitting.
We
on
thought
my
we were
desk.
just here for our good looks.
Well, and by the way, we should introduce you since now we just kind of like swooshed out there. This is Mike Darcy, and you were past president,
Yep.
or you are past president from 2000. I'm not even on the site yet now. 2013.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's a 2-year.
12,
it's a 2-year
13.
gig.
12,
Yeah,
12,
so it's
13,
12
okay.
and 13.
And I had 14, 15.
14,
There you go.
15.
And there's a Bernie Gallagher who is residing president.
Okay.
Now, I was the parade chairman a couple of years ago when we did the first parade.
Yes.
And with all good endeavors, of course, it starts off small and then it blows up into this,
And it blows up fast, doesn't it?
Terrific job.
And the good thing is we have a lot of very active members that really support this and really take it and go with it.
Yeah.
So
there
how
are.
big is your chapter? How many members do you have?
We're probably up to about 110 members now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we started out back in 2008 with probably one of those round tables with about 6-8 people sitting at it. So about 10 or 12 founding board members. But when we had our monthly meetings, it was a small group. But then it just started growing, and a friend brings a friend, and it just keeps on growing.
So tell me about who your members are. How do they become members? They all have to
That's an
be
interesting-
Irish. Do they have?
That's a secret.
Do you have a secret handshake?
I wish we did.
Do you have a hazing where they have to drink so much Guinness?
We don't consider that hazing. We consider
They got
that
to buy
friendly.
it, not drink it. They
They
got
have
to
to
buy it.
buy it.
But it's actually we have very high profile members who are not Irish by blood; they're Irish by marriage.
Okay.
And they do some amazing things. Our golf chairman, and in fact, wasn't Ken the parade grand marshal last year?
Yeah, Grand Marshal or the Irishman of the Year. I forget.
Yeah,
He and
Ken
Gary.
Oldham, and he's a guy who's been very active in the Friendly Sons from the very beginning, but he's Irish by marriage.
I got to tell you, I'm impressed. You have 100 members, because a lot of civic organizations, their membership numbers are diving. What are you doing that are attracting these people to want to participate?
I guess it's a friend of friends. We have a monthly meeting we meet the second Tuesday of every month at 8 o'clock at the Clinton Elks. Everybody, that would like to be interested in joining could come on in and sit down. We probably average anywhere 40 to 50 members at these meetings. So we do, the meetings they're very, very casual, very open. We get a lot of things done. It's only about an hour and a half. Of course, we have some beer there. That's part of the whole ritual. We have beer, and everybody puts some money into a pitcher, and we all have a good time.
And so what are you doing at your meetings other than drinking beer?
It's a mix of social and business.
Okay.
We do have a major fundraiser, a golf outing in July, which takes a lot of work. The parade itself takes a fair amount of work, and we have a dinner dance that we do. And then we have a funding committee that gives away $15,000 to $30,000 a year. So the funding committee will come in and talk to the group about families in need and what we should fund. So that's kind of the business part of it, and then that breaks up. And Sean was one of the great presidents as far as getting the business done quickly, so we could get to the socializing.
There you go.
And I think that's that. You ask, why does our group flourish while other groups seem to be scratching around looking for members? I think because we do put that camaraderie aspect of it pretty high on our list of things to do. Our motto is culture, camaraderie, and community. The culture is the Irish culture, which you see during the parade. The camaraderie is what we get every month at the meetings, and then at the little committee meetings that happen in between. And the community is how we give back to the community, the funding committee, and how we get out and we've helped nonprofits that have had to move offices from one place to another, and we'll get a bunch of guys together in a truck and help them move. So that's the community part of it, and that seems to resonate with a lot of guys. They want to do that, but they want to do it in a relaxed way. We don't use Robert's Rules of Orders really. We don't stick to parliamentary procedure. We do it as a bunch of guys getting together to try and do some good.
Now, how are you governed in any way? Because there's a lot of different Friendly Sons out there.
Yeah.
So how does
We're
that
more-
whole?
It's a very loose very loose association with the Friendly Sons. There is how would I call it? They had a national. This is the second one, a national summit. They had it in Manhattan right before Thanksgiving last year. But that is, every group stands on their own. We basically mimicked or started this group under the tutelage or what the Morristown Friendly Sons chapter of Friendly Sons started. So we started with their background of what they've done, their rulings, and their so that's where we do it. But we're all standalone. Everything gets done. We have a 13-man board of directors, which Mike and I are both part of. But then we have an executive committee, which is the president, vice president, down into the sergeant of arms, the whole group, and they do the day-to-day stuff. But when it comes to changing something in a rule or anything, usually we'll go up to the board of directors. But we're pretty much
Now, do you have to pay to be a part of the organization? Is there dues?
There's a $50 fee a year for our dues, and the good
drop
part
in our
is
bucket.
all the money we get in from all of our events, it 100% goes out. Everything, our meeting, or where we meet, and all the cost for it, that's all self-funded internally.
Yeah, all our administration is handled by our membership dues, so that we're able to give all that money back to the community that's raised in the community.
100%. So we've been upwards of $150,000+ we've given out into Hunterdon County. That's where our focus is, Hunterdon County, and we've been good about $150+ to people.
And I know a lot of your members have a lot of crossover. So like Bob Young, who's a member
Bob is
of
part of the Rotary. Know
and,
Bob well.
Yeah, and you've got some other crossover, I'm sure, with people like that.
Yes, Bob is a very active member. Bob was real active with the dinner dance as well.
His wife Mary was great too. She was the one who did the seating chart the first year or two. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a pretty diverse group of people. We have business owners. We have executives from companies involved.
Yeah.
We have some politicians.
Yep.
And we have
Bob's a politician, yeah.
Well, Bob, yeah.
He's in Lebanon
Yes,
Borough.
Lebanon Borough.
You know, we
Councilman.
have others, and we expand, all over.
Paul Muir is a mayor of Bethlehem.
Exactly.
Paul Muir,
Frank Gallagher.
Well, he's not a politician.
yeah, Francis.
But now you
He
kind of
wants to be a politician.
If you know these public figures, you kind of know the characters
Well,
that
I
we
live
are.
in the town of Clinton, so I know.
Ken Carberry, he's another.
There you go, Ken.
I
Yeah.
was with Ken
Talk
yesterday.
talk about a character.
So imagine sitting in a room with these guys and doing stuff. It's just fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You get a definitely the personality mix is.
Yeah.
It's from left to right, and it's pretty funny sometimes.
So are y'all a 501c3 organization?
Yes, we are. We're a 501c3.
So how do you get away from how do you get away with being a fraternal organization? Because there was a legislation that was passed back in the mid '80s that basically said women were allowed. That's when women were allowed into Rotary, because Rotary was a fraternal organization as well. So how do y'all get away with that now and fast forward to 2016?
Shh, quiet. Don't tell anybody.
You have
No
clue.
comment. No, it has not really ever come up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of active wives. Wives are very active supporting a lot of this as well.
Yeah.
It's mainly just because nobody said, "Hey, I want to be a member," and took it to the Supreme Court.
a lot of the
We
spouses,
got lawyers on the team too.
a lot of the
so to help us
spouses of
out.
the guys that are in this, they're very active. They come to the outings. They get involved as they want to. But quite frankly, it's very nice for them to get the husbands out of the house and keep them busy doing something good and useful. We're not sitting there doing business deals. Like I think in some of these so-called fraternal organizations, women were being excluded, Kiwanis and things like that, because there were business deals that were going on in some of these. But that's not really the case. This isn't a business swap. This is about Irish culture. We do, and the women are in the parade. The women come to the dinner dance. The women are, so the only thing they're missing out on is maybe having to do some of the ticket sales and scrape up the sponsors and stuff like that.
Now, do you allow the wives to come to your meetings when you have your monthly meetings?
The meetings, you have to be over 21. You have to be a male, and you have to have some relationship to an Irish culture.
Okay.
Like I say, some of the guys are married into it, and some are otherwise. But it's not meant to be exclusionary. It's meant to give these guys a place where they can come, talk, exchange thoughts, ideas about what it's like to be an Irish American, or in some case, full-fledged Irishman. And then do the things that we like to do together, maybe in a what might be considered less than a genteel fashion. It's not like we're doing anything that couldn't possibly be seen in the outside world. It's more an opportunity for us to let our hair down.
Yeah. Well, you're all meeting at the Clinton Elks, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's a very convenient,
there,
nice
done
place.
that.
It's a nice place. They help us out.
Or
We help them
the
out.
former
they help us
chicken
out.
coop, as it was known as.
It's
It's a nice place.
Yeah, it
I like
is. It is. I've not actually been inside. I've only been outside to the picnic area and.
Yeah, it's
all
a
through
beautiful
that.
space.
Yeah, it is.
And they look for people to come in to help them, or even utilize it for a cost. They're more than happy to help people out with that.
Yeah.
So good group of people.
They're real nice. They're real nice.
And
to us.
they come to us and we talk to them and we sponsor their events, and they come in and they'll join in on the golf outing. They're very, very happy to join us.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, what's a chowderhead?
A chowderhead is a polite term for somebody who's not so nice.
Okay.
There
It's
wasn't.
right, it's right on your website. No chowderheads allowed.
There was another word in there, but we had to take it.
You had to take it out.
It wasn't right. That was the original.
Yes.
And somebody made a complaint. We said, well, we better take it off.
So that when we got on a radio show like this, we wouldn't have to answer what'd you use that other word for?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And that's our famous. That's our webmeister, Dave Bolduc, who takes care of our website. Dave is good. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. No chowderheads. I'm like,
No
what the
chowderheads,
heck's a chowderhead?
Yeah, it was.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah. That's from
You have
back
to
at
be a
day
member
one.
to know what it is.
Yeah.
And in
can't
some
let that
cases, a
secret
long
out.
time. Remember that? When did that change? Like last year, maybe?
Probably at least maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to get it off of there. It wasn't right. We're getting too popular.
You're getting too public. Yes.
Public.
Well, for example, on the 14th of March, the New Jersey Assembly has invited all the grand marshals from all the parades across the state to come down to the Assembly chambers in Trenton, and they're going to do this procession, and they're going to have this presentation of a charter and I guess a resolution from the Assembly about St. Patrick's Day and the parades throughout the state, and all the grand marshals are going to be there. Well, I wouldn't want to be the grand marshal from the Friendly Sons of St. Patrick of Hunterdon County. You had to explain what something other than chowderheads was up on that website. So yeah, as things like that happen and the organization begins to get a bigger profile, you get a profile that you will get a face on the internet that is more conducive to good conversations.
Yeah. And so you guys do mix it up with the other groups because, like you said, you kind of worked with Morristown.
Yep.
Oh yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
And even in town, we have a close relationship with the Knights of Columbus and Annandale.
Okay.
And they'll come in and they'll march, and we our first couple of dinner dances, we had them as joint dinner dances
Oh, okay.
together. Yes, so we do, and a lot of members there. A lot of our members are members of the Knights of Columbus
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's really great that because I know we look at that in the Rotary world about trying to get a lot of people from other organizations to participate in doing things with you because you can only pull from so many people.
Clinton Township Police, they saw it as an avenue. They started talking to us, and they started coming in, and they asked if they could work with us about helping donate to certain things. And we in turn, just this last month, we co-sponsored some donating some financial aid to the Hunterdon Food Pantry. So they in turn worked with us. They came to one of the members, sat and talked to them, and we said, "Fine, we'll work with you." So we'll try to sponsor them, help them as they need to, but we're co-sponsoring things together.
Yeah. So do you guys, is there like, you come together and you do sponsorships of certain other non-for-profits as a continuum, or in addition to that, it's just whenever there's a need, you do it? How do you make a decision?
Like we usually will take care of Safe and Hunterdon, and we're always, try to get involved with that. We've been becoming very supportive of the Shannon Daly Foundation, which is a big best. We got involvement in, we always, partake in that.
You mentioned the food pantry.
The food pantry,
the one right there in Clinton.
The Family Success Center here in town, where we do a lot of help with them.
Yep.
Who else is it?
I know you've donated to the Crime Stoppers and the
Crime
past.
Stoppers.
That's a regular,
yes,
yeah.
And
and if you'd like to do it again, we'd be more than welcome to have you.
They're on the list.
Yeah, so we do have the funding committee, which we do. We raise that from 3 people to 5 people, which I've become a lucky member of that group, and we just vet out what it is. We if there's a family in need. The first few years when we were doing this is where the big majority of our money were going to families in need here in Hunterdon County that needed support for oil or heat in their houses.
Oh, in the winter, yeah.
The oil prices were way up. There was no subsidies involved.
Yeah.
So we were helping people. So what we did is we had one of our treasurer at the time, Gary Sanderson, who's now down in Florida. He relocated to Florida. But he worked out a deal with Van Doren Oil.
Yep.
So we would give him all our business, and they worked with us because they knew where it was going to people in need, and they gave us, we had a discount package going with them. So they were very good about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, once people understand where we're coming from, we do like to have a good time, but we are there to help people.
Well, yeah,
in the family.
and just by even looking at your website, you've done a lot, which is. And how long have you been around?
8 years.
Since
2008. 2008
Okay.
was our first year.
Yeah, you've done it quite a bit.
Yes. So.
And people you're pulling from that are in the group, in the Hunterdon County group, or just from Hunterdon County area.
That's where we're trying to focus 100% of our.
It's interesting. There's a couple of guys that moved to Hunterdon County from Morris County, for example, and they were Friendly Sons up in Morris County, and then they joined us. And Gary Sanderson's a good example. He lived in Hunterdon, but moved to Easton, but he didn't want to leave the Friendly Sons, so he was integral. I mean, he was doing so much work as treasurer and funding committee and everything. So he just kept coming, and he just kept being an active member. And so, what are you going to do with great people like that? You keep them on board.
Sure.
Then he finally had to move to Florida, and we didn't even let him go then.
Helped him pack his truck that day.
Well,
his wife Karen came back for the parade, right? The Christmas
with all the
parade.
online banking, you can make it work.
And they'll come up. He'll come up. He's coming up for the dinner dance.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it'd be great to see him.
Yeah. So it's we have a good time, and the big thing is we'll evaluate any person in need. We're not.
And how do you find that out? Is it people from within the organization hear about it and they come in and just let you know about the issues?
Yeah. Well, what we have is the group of the 5, but we have a procedure that bring it to one of the members. There's 5 people, and our committee chair is Pat Barrett, who was our second president, Pat Barrett. Now Pat is our head guy. Now Pat will come to us like the Family Success. He's very close with the Shannon Daly Foundation. Some other things they come to. They know Pat well, so they go to Pat direct. Pat will send it out to the 4 other members, and out of the 5, we have to have a majority vote, yay, nay. If it's vetted out properly. If not, we ask to go back and get some more information. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Because sometimes, or there are people out there trying to get.
Oh, sure.
Trying to work the system.
Of course.
But I'd say probably 90% of people that come through, we take care of it.
And Pat's also got a lot of connections with, like you say, Family Success Center. Carmel Getting has been terrific in helping find unique clients, I guess, as they would call them, who are just slipping between the cracks.
Yep.
They maybe they're going to get some assistance check from a government agency, but it won't come in for 3 weeks. And in that 3-week period, they could fall behind on their rent or fall behind on their oil payments or a car. We've had car situations where somebody's car broke down. They weren't going to have money for 3 weeks, but they had to get to their job and get their kids to the schools. And Carmel is great at finding those people who are slipping between the cracks, and then she calls us, and then we're able to react pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very quick at react. That's the good thing of
You're
a self-standing organization. We can make a decision in a heartbeat. Like you said, sometimes you need something done that day or the next day.
Yeah.
We have the capacity of doing that. If it fits, we'll do that. Yes. People getting evicted, like you say, that happened more than
Yeah.
once. We've
Yeah.
helped
Yeah.
them out. Yep.
That's a shame.
It happens. You would think, Hunterdon County is a pretty affluent county, especially in the
but
state of New Jersey.
it's-
But you have people
Yeah.
that it's not everybody. So, and you.
And it's gotten worse since the recession, because at the top of the recession, you had a lot of people who the United Way classify as the Alice people, who are those people who had jobs, who were doing, making a living. And then the recession hit, and one person in the family lost their job, and all of a sudden it just tipped them.
Somebody
and-
got sick, and there's a lot.
But they're
of
not
that.
making enough money to be able to get into the system. They just need a little help to get them going
Exactly.
until they get another job,
Yeah, and it's
or
all.
4 jobs to make up the one, or whatever.
It's tough. We've seen it, over the years. The good thing is we're very discreet with the funding. The funding committee, we keep a lot of that on who is getting. Well, the membership knows everything is above board of where it goes, but there are certain situations where, it's a really private with the family or the person that needs the help, and that kept very well kept secret who it is. They trust us, and we do it. So you got to give a little discretion.
And then sometimes they'll send us an open thank you card. They don't mind letting people know that we've helped them, and we've posted some of those on the website as well. And that's probably one of the most fun points of any meeting, when the secretary opens up the mailbag, so to speak, and shows people the kind of letters and correspondence that we've gotten. And sometimes it's from kids, sometimes it's from mothers, sometimes it's from people who say, "You got me just over the hump." And then every once in a while we'll get one from somebody who we helped maybe some 2-3 years ago, and they'll say, "By the way, because of what you did, I was able to get into college or something." And boy, that's
That's awesome.
everybody loves that. That's a
Yeah.
great point in the meetings. Yeah.
And we have a little scholarship program as well
for high
the
school?
local high schools. Yes, right.
Yep,
We have
yep.
those. So, yes, it's a little bit, but it helps.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps. So you meet a certain criteria, you get weaned down, it gets vetted out, and
You
it
don't have to be
happens.
Irish, do you?
No, that you don't have to be
That's
Irish.
interesting. I think one of our first scholarship recipients was Indian American.
She was one of my neighbors, yes,
Was
and
she?
Pat Whalen. Our first president, Pat Whalen, who was 2 houses up, lives 2 houses away from me. That was his neighbor. Very good student.
Yeah.
Gal's in college right now. Yes.
So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit broader scope. You're not just in New Jersey. You're not just in the United States, are you? Are you an international organization?
No, the Friendly Sons is United States based, and what it was, if you go back to, again, it's an informal group, so there is no national structure to it. But if you go back to when it began, it was Irish that were emigrating over to America, and what they wanted to do was help their fellow immigrants,
Immigrant.
and help them out. Get settled and get started, and they were used to doing this back in their home country, so it made sense. So it comes from the basis of community. It comes from the basis of culture. I think we add the camaraderie into it, and it does work.
I think the original chapter started down in Philadelphia back in.
That is colonial times, right?
Yes,
Oh,
I think
wow.
it was it Commodore Barry got involved with it. I think because he was from Ireland or
Okay.
something too. I think I wish Bill was here. Bill Healy,
Yeah.
he's one of our resident historians.
Actually, he posted something on Facebook not too long ago, and it talked about the history of slavery with the Irish, even before the African American became slaves, which I found fascinating because I never even thought about it. I mean, I knew that there were Irish slaves, but I never even
Oh yeah.
thought
they-
about it in the context that the article was that he had posted.
Well, they were, remember when they came? No Irish apply back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in New York City, you couldn't get jobs. The Irish were like, don't even come in. It was
But
you were,
but this was specifically
even
about the fact that people would go and just uproot them from their homes.
just take
And
them
a
and
lot
go.
of them went into the Caribbean, and then they eventually came over here. And then the story talked a little bit about the fact that the African slaves cost more money. They could sell the slave for more money than they could for the Irish slave. It was just, you gotta go read his post on Facebook. It was pretty intriguing.
Hey, I couldn't even get here on time. You think I got time to read his posts?
I'm gonna have to talk to Bill about that tonight.
But you talk about the historical parts of
Yeah.
when the immigrants came over. Just last year, we were able to celebrate an area of the town of Clinton called Irishtown, or it was called Irishtown, because the Mulligan brothers were owners of the Red Mill, and they did exactly this, where they would bring over their brothers, and their brothers would bring over their cousins, and their cousins, and they all of a sudden there was all these Irish folks that were working at the mill, and they were all living together in this section of Clinton, and it wound up being known as Irishtown. And one of our members, Sean Rogan, did some research on it, found one of the last remaining ancestors of the Mulligan brothers, and we had a big brass plaque made, a monument type historic marker made, and placed it where the Mulligan brothers had lived. And I think one of the interesting things, and everybody should go take a look at that. It's over near the library, across from the library and the playground in Clinton on Halstead Street.
Right near Lorraine, that little shoot off that with the newer houses up there. If you're going up the road, going up Lee Street,
And
on your left.
you recognize this historic marker. It's different from all other historic markers because it's green. It's brass,
Okay.
but it's green.
Green
it looks
pole,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That was unveiled last parade. We had it on
Okay.
the parade.
Just
yep.
before the St. Patrick's Day
Before
parade.
it
Yes, we
started.
did.
Yep,
Just
yep.
before we basically kicked it off with that, and then started marching
Okay.
with the mayor.
Oh,
of
that's why it took so long.
So that's
Sitting up there
another one of
freezing.
those community things that we do that we raised the money for the plaque and to get it installed and everything, and one of our members, Sean, went back and did the research on it, and then we found one of the Mulligans so that he could be there, and so we do all that kind of thing, and that's part of the culture, part of the community issue. Yeah.
Yeah, he went through the process. It's a legal process
Oh,
too.
I'm sure it is.
So he went through got all the paperwork done,
Yeah.
and got the agreements and blessings, and we were able to. We had it put in. They put it in, and we had a nice little veil over it, and we
That's
unveiled
right.
it that day.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
It was real nice.
So how many parades do you march in? Because I know you also do the Christmas parade in town. Do you go outside of the area and march in other parades?
We should.
Yes, but I think we're going to try to make it a very good effort towards the Morristown parade, because
Okay.
they've asked
Yes.
us again.
Yes.
They're having it the Saturday before our parade.
Okay.
Morristown parade is a very well established,
Yeah, that's a serious parade.
and they will, and the Friendly Sons from there will be marching in ours as well. So
Yeah, you're right, though. We're supposed to do more outreach. We've got some of the Friendly Sons here have got brothers, blood brothers, who are Friendly Sons in the Ironbound over in Newark. And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got guys. We do have to do a better
Yeah.
job of that.
yeah, so it's
Well, I know the Trenton one's pretty big because that parade's pretty decent size.
yeah.
Which
And
Trenton
Somerville's a
one,
big one too.
Yeah,
Somerville?
Somerville's.
Somerville, but unfortunately
Wonderful.
it's conflicting because it starts like I think at 1:00
Right.
on this Sunday we have ours.
Oh, okay.
And a semi-member, I don't know where Willie Lynch sits, but Willie's the marshal of that
Is he
parade this year. Yes, he's the
Oh,
parade.
Congratulations to
yeah.
Willie.
Yeah, so he has an affiliation with us, and he's the marshal for the Somerville parade. So I would have, a lot of us would have liked to have seen that,
Yep.
but we just can't do it
Yeah.
with the timing.
Can't be there. It's two places at once.
And
Yes.
there are some bands that are going to do Somerville and then jump
Then
in
they
a,
get on a
jump
bus
in
and
a
they come
bus
up.
and zoom up
Really?
here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
Tough to
state
do.
police come over, they do that. So
Okay. So they put them in the front of the Somerville parade and then the back of the
Put 'em in
Clinton
the back.
parade?
well, we try to do it. Well,
Yeah.
then we got 2 hours plus the time,
Yeah.
so they're allowed to speed because they
Yeah.
got the
We- There's an emergency. There's a parade that must be done.
that and St. Anne's.
Yep, St. Anne. My
St. Anne
my
band,
son is
yeah.
a piper in St. Anne's
St.
of
Anne.
Hampton, and they've done that a few years now. So every pipe band in the state is doing more than one parade.
Oh, I
It's
bet.
just amazing.
It's a very busy
Yeah.
day. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we have the high school band this year in ours.
Which
North-
one?
I
North?
think we're going to have North Hunterdon, yes.
That'd be great.
I think Shane has got that
They
set
got the
up
right
this year.
colors.
Yeah,
Green.
right. There you go.
Green and gold, right?
So you said you had some professional flutes this year?
Do we? I'm not sure. I'm not.
okay.
I haven't been. I'm going to go to the parade meeting tonight because I'm trying to get some other things done at the meeting. So I'm not sure. I didn't hear that, but there are some.
I'd have to go to
I
a
thought
meeting
you, I
too.
thought you had made that comment earlier.
No, I'm
Miss-
sorry. I didn't. I don't recall
Okay.
doing it. But
See, I didn't see the parade last year because I was in the back waiting to march.
oh, were you?
Well, and so you'll remember that that there's horses, there's
Yep.
carriages, the Irish wolfhounds. There's a lot of step dancers, different schools
Yes.
for step dancing, and that's probably one of the most amazing parts of it when you see these incredible step dancers in their uniforms. The hair and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a show unto themselves.
They are. I went to Philly. I was in the Reading Terminal one time, and they had this huge competition. All these little girls running around with the costumes and the curly wigs.
It's an
and
expensive
the
little
whole, yeah.
program. Yeah. Well,
That's why you guys have to have this organization, right? 'Cause
well,
you need-
ironically, that the organization basically started with a couple of the fathers
Yeah.
of
Of the
children
dance,
that
step
step
dance,
dance.
yeah.
So they all got to, they were all talking and said, we got to get together and do this. And matter of fact, one of them, the one gentleman that Michael was talking about, our golf chairman, Ken Oldham, his daughter is a world champion
Wow.
step dancer. I mean, you're talking and others, Pat Barrett's daughter and Pat Whalen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're all world step dancers. They're all ranked in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And these girls have been doing it since they were little, and they're in college now. These kids,
Yeah.
so
And we're very fortunate that we have a good relationship with all those dancing schools. So they'll come to the dinner dance and they'll do exhibitions of different types of dance. And there's nothing. I mean, when you see them in the parade, you hear them on the asphalt, so you can't really hear
Right.
what their feet are doing. But when they come to that dinner dance and they're on a dance floor and that wooden floor, and you can hear everything, it's amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, and they're good. They'll dance with us during the Christmas parade.
Yep.
Mhm.
They lead us up.
Mm-hmm.
So
We often say, if not for them, we would be totally ignored.
You can't like not see you when you're in the parade, especially like the Christmas parade where you're all walking there
yeah.
together. in
We have a
unison.
good time. We get a good turnout of guys. We have at least 40 guys turning out
Yep.
for that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Weather depending.
Yeah. Same with St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah.
Weather pen.
There was
depending.
one Christmas parade. It was cold and rainy, and it just rained the whole time. And we
Couple
all went
years
through.
back.
And we all kind of looked like wet rats with our wool sweaters at the end of it. And Bill Healy, God bless him, he invites us all back to his shop afterwards to warm up. And this shop must have looked like a swimming pool
I was
when
going to
we
say,
were
and
done.
how much damage happened in there? Because I
Well,
know last year there was a
we do
little
pretty
damage
well,
at the
yeah.
Christmas
Knock on wood.
parade.
Well, that was
That was
just
Bob
one.
Jung.
Oh,
He'll deny it to the day he dies.
No, we were at the opening of the Indian motorcycle shop right there in 22.
yep.
And somehow that subject came up.
Oh,
He's
poor
never going to
Bob.
live that down, that poor
I
guy.
know.
Knock on wood. That was
That's
the
because
first
he kept
one.
trying to blame King Carberry on it.
Well, somebody's got always put me in
It was
finger.
one little,
It was a Christmas
was a
ornament.
Christmas
one Christmas
ornament.
ornament.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did say he went and made good on it. So
Oh,
Yeah, he had to after everybody attacking him.
yeah.
poor guy.
That's the ironic thing is even when you become a member with that, Bill Healy has a customized mug with you with your name on it, and the year you joined. So that's part of our membership
Yeah.
as well as membership buttons, and
Yeah,
we have a
lapel pins.
challenge coin as well. That
looks a lot like that.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that. It's a little larger. So if you step into a pub and there's a couple of the boys there, and you slap it down, and if they don't have their coin,
They have to buy the beers.
Then they
but
have
if you
to buy.
slap it down and they come back at you, you're buying. So
Ah.
that's like a little
There you go.
inside thing. Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
So that's our little challenge thing. So
So these are things that you just make up in your own club. Not, doesn't go across
Generally,
the-
we don't make anything up. We steal the idea from
Steal the
someplace
idea
else.
from-
yeah, the Morristown with the coins. Morristown had those coins when we saw it on the first national summit.
Yep.
About four years ago. It came away. One of them, a couple of the guys gave us the challenge coins, and then Gary went out and got them made just for
Had
ours.
them all designed. And
Yeah,
everything.
And then
Yeah.
we got the pins as well. So
So how many times have you been to Ireland?
me, I've been there 1, 2, 3 times myself.
Do you have family there, relatives?
I've got more family there than here.
Really?
Yes, yes. They're spread out now in Ireland, but more of my family from my side
Yeah.
are there. Yes, my mother's side mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I was there on my 25th wedding anniversary a couple of years ago. So,
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
What part of Ireland are you from?
Well, there my family is from Kilkenny, but we were all around. We were down south in Kinsale, and then went up to Kilkenny and Dublin. So we had a good
Okay.
time, good 10, 12 days there. And Bill Healy is from Ireland. We have Brian Manning, our secretary. He is from Ireland. Patty O'Neill is from there.
So you got to do a road trip. You do road trips to go to Ireland?
We'd be
Get the
lucky to
group
do
together?
a road trip down to Frenchtown or Lambertville.
Yeah. It's there is something. I know Bill Healy's son
His daughter.
and daughter-in-law.
Yeah, they're arranging something.
They're trying to arrange a Ireland tour this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Bill's son, Bill Jr., who cuts glass as well. So that's his wife that's trying to set up something for the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
A program to a lot
Is
of
that the
people.
best time to go to Ireland is in the middle of the summer?
I've been there I've been in there in the spring and the summer. I like it. It's warmer, but it still doesn't mean it's going to be dry.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit more bearable when it's a little damp. It's not as cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. Have you ever been?
I've never been to Ireland.
Yeah, you got to be
Been
there.
a lot of places in the world, but not there yet.
Yeah, it's nice. You just got to take your time and go around. There's a lot to see.
Yeah.
A lot of towns, a lot of history. If you got family there, they're going to bring you to every cemetery around because they're very proud of their cemeteries. Well, this is where your,
Yeah.
fourth cousin, seventh removed, is buried right here.
Like, okay, bring on the ghost. We want to talk to him.
Yeah. So,
Go to the castles.
there's yes, I
Yeah.
was in the Kilkenny Castle last time I was there. Yes, they're nice. All that stuff is good. And good pubs too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So, favorite beer?
Well, if I could do it, if I can handle it today, because it's a heavy beer. I love Guinness,
Yeah.
but it's a heavy beer, so you have to drink it sparingly.
Is that what y'all are gonna have at the after party?
Oh, there'll be some of that.
Well, we'll have Guinness, and we'll have Guinness at the dinner dance, Guinness and Smithwick, and then for the other people, we're gonna have Miller Lite. But
Ugh.
you gotta give it to everybody. But we'll have some good. ShopRite Liquors has been very good. They basically sponsor the beer for
That's
us.
awesome.
Yeah, and they'll bring in a nice little beer trailer, and just like we did with the half day to St. Patrick's Day, we had it right down at the museum.
Yeah.
And in this past September, it was a beautiful day. We had the
That was
beer
like a
truck.
music festival too.
Yeah.
There was so much. It was one
Yeah.
band after the other, after the other, after
Yeah,
the other.
we had
Terrific.
a real good time. Yep. So
It's actually my experience with the Friendly Sons is it's somewhat of a misconception that all the Irishmen like Guinness. There's an awful lot of guys drinking Coors Light and Miller Lite. I don't know if that's to keep their svelte figures or
Yeah.
what.
got too Americanized.
There's I think that's what it is. They drinking.
Well, there's other Irish
Yingling
beer
and
besides
stuff.
Guinness that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I actually prefer Murphy's.
There you are. Yeah. But if you do, Guinness it's good and healthy for you. You have a lot of iron content that's been known to, when you're a little
So if
sick.
you're anemic, drink a lot of Guinness.
It is. Because I've known somebody
Good
that
health
was
tip.
knowing some people that were, under, cancer treatment, and it was always good to get a little of that to get, because you get anemic from that, and it was, something you could stomach and it helps you out.
Yep.
My wife makes a great Guinness stew. I'm happy to have it that
Oh,
way.
and speaking of food, so what's on the menu for the dinner dance and for the after party?
Corned
Do
beef.
you have a
Corned beef,
traditional?
yeah. Well, corned beef at the dinner dance, and the Grand Colonial does a great job on the corned beef.
Yeah.
It's like an open buffet with all the cabbage and the vegetables.
potatoes
and the
carrots
vegetables, yeah. And then at the after party, we have corned beef
I think he's doing pork again, right?
and pork, too. We have a guy come in. We had somebody...
No, I think Bob was telling me that you've got some guy coming in from Philly.
Oh, is there? Yeah, I haven't...
That's what he was telling me. So I know more about your party than you know.
Yeah, because, well, you know what it is because we do, with 100 guys, 110 guys, we have committees.
Yep.
And like we have the dinner dance committee, which I'm involved with. You know, there might be 6 of us. But then the parade committee has a handful of guys, and they focus on the parade and then the after party.
Right.
And you know, there's three or four guys there. It's Frank and a guy named Jimmy Codd and John McGordy Jr.
I know Jimmy.
Yeah, so Jimmy, yeah, so you know he was an old, and they're the ones that put it together. And then the day of, they say, "Come on down, you know, all hands on deck, help us out." So that's how it goes. So we, you know, they talk about it, but everybody's, you know, everything's
Yeah.
going, and so I'll pay my money, I'm going.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to starve. So
For sure.
yeah, we brought in a gentleman for the halfway. He was from where was he? He was from Lebanon. He did the smoked pork, and he did that. He brought the barbecue up, and he put it into the parking lot where Frank Gallagher has his office and Ken
Yes.
Carberg. The parking lot, they had that sitting there on Sunday morning. Had that thing stoking up and cooking the meat, and then just
How did I
moved
miss
them in.
that party?
Well,
I
you-
live right
you missed a good
downtown.
one.
It was a beautiful day.
Obviously,
Yep.
my friendly sons of St. Patrick friends didn't tell me.
Actually,
about
you know, it was not an advertised party. It was
Okay.
originally a members' party. And what happened was the members kind of signed up, and then we knew how many we had. And then they realized that there might be a few extra tickets. So you could buy a few extra tickets,
Okay.
but it did sell out.
it. And it was in the parking lot.
It was actually on the patio outside.
You know, right next to the museum.
Oh, at the art center. Okay.
Yeah, the Art
Exactly,
Center.
that's what it
It
is.
was on the
yeah.
patio out there.
They had an event the evening before or the night before, and we just bunked up on it, and they kept the tables in the tent there.
Yep.
So we did it all under there.
That was, all about the culture and the camaraderie thing. We actually didn't do it as a fundraiser. We did it just as a cultural thing.
Yeah. A fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And the big thing is, if anybody wants tickets for the dinner
the after
dance,
Party and the dinner dance.
the after party, it's all online with the friendly FS. How is it going?
FSSP Hunterdon. Friendly Sons of St. Patrick.
Yes, FSSP Hunterdon. Or you can go on your Facebook page as well.
Yep.
Yep.
And,
We have PayPal set up there, and you can go in and
Yeah, this is the first year we've been able to order online, right?
on I think the after party. Yes, yeah. We started that with the golf outing last year, and now some people are paying their membership through there.
So here's your latest post on Facebook. If the parade is not held on St. Patrick's Day, is it still called the St. Patrick's Day Parade? Or should it be, or should day be excluded from it, making it the St. Patrick's
Oh, the
Parade?
controversy rages.
Is that somebody that asked that question?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
From somebody from your organization, whoever's managing your Facebook page.
Well, that's Dave.
That's Dave.
He likes to, really rile people up with
Yeah.
stuff like
But
that.
it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Didn't get a whole lot of action on that, but you got
See, you're not going to
Go
give any
in
of us to
there.
worry about. Facebook, I don't even know what it is.
Which Facebook?
Yep.
Well, Steve Carroll and Jim Cod like it.
Oh yeah, Steve's one of our. He's our
Yep.
sign maker.
Well,
Steve
Steve was in
Yeah.
my office the other day at the 11th hour
Yep.
trying to get the banner to go across Main Street here in Floydton. And he walks in with his application filled out, and he says, "Okay, we got it all approved." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I love this. He goes, "Trust me, supposedly everybody checked everything, and so it's all available, and you can put it up."
Well, I didn't even.
I was like,
I noticed
okay.
it when I came down here. I'm looking. I said, "Who are they having a parade here?" And I finally,
And you're like, "Oh, that's us."
That's us. I said, "Okay," because what we do is the day before they have the 5K run. Who is it? What's
Julie
it?
Cullen.
Julie
yeah.
Julie Cullen.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I remember she was at the first after party. She didn't come to the second one. I remember her over at the mill. I met her over at the mill. Yeah.
Yeah, we team up with them on some of the facility rentals and things like that.
Yeah, help it out. So
Yeah.
we split the costing.
We at one time, I think we split the cost of raising the banner up or something. With
Well,
them.
that is the banner's like half and half. So
Yeah,
we are.
yeah.
Yeah, every how that goes. So we're all. Just,
Oh, does that banner have the race on it
Yeah,
too?
it'll be on
oh,
the
I
left
didn't
side
even
is the
notice.
5K race,
I
yeah.
didn't even notice. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, see, we're very tight with our funding.
There you go.
Yeah, it's. I guess they're going to take that down and probably put it
Yeah,
in
they
the
are.
downtown.
Because that's coming down on Monday, and then it goes up in Clinton, I think.
Yeah. You don't want to put it up an extra day. It costs money.
He's a good
In
president.
Clinton. Although Steve was like, "Wow, it's cheaper to put the band up here in Flemington than Clinton." I was like, "Well, do you want it up another week?"
Yes. So.
It's too funny. Well, we've got about 10 minutes. So is there something that we haven't talked about your organization that you want to get out there?
How about the future?
There you go. What's the future of your organization?
The future of the organization is actually quite strong, and that goes back to the number of members that we have. One of the things I think what's happening with the Friendly Sons now is it's maturing as an organization, whereas we used to kind of do it as a bunch of guys having a good time and doing some good while we're having a good time. As Sean points out, we have to get, and we are becoming more formalized in our setting up committees and having the chairs of the committees actually get the work done, so that the president doesn't have to know what's on the menu of everything, and the grand marshal doesn't necessarily know everybody who's going to be in the parade. That doesn't point to necessarily a weakness. It might point to a strength that the Friendly Sons are getting more organized now. This group is, and we don't necessarily plan to become as big as like a Morristown chapter.
And how big is that?
Oh,
I think it's upwards of 350 members. I mean, someday if it ever happened, it would be.
yeah.
They have their own building and everything
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So but that if that happens, it would be in the unplanned future. But one of the things is when a group like ours begins to take on the public persona that we have and be able to do the amount of good that we can do, we got to say, okay, let's get ourselves kind of organized so that we can be a little bit more efficient and effective at it without taking away. One of the things we really want to make sure is that we don't take away from that camaraderie aspect. We don't want to get so hooked up with being formalized that we lose the fun part. In fact, that's in the mission statement. Why do we do what we do? And the answer is in the mission statement. It says to have fun.
Yeah.
So that's important that is never lost on the Friendly Sons, because if it is, I think the whole point of the endeavor kind of gets lost then.
Yeah. And are you doing a fairly good job at attracting, as you talked about the future, younger members to see it go through?
I think so.
Yes, but we'd like to get more.
Yeah.
It's
What's
just,
your average age? Maybe 40, 50?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it can't be much older than us, so it can't be more than 35.
You're all right, Mike. 35. Come on. What about 30? Yeah, so we're probably
Well,
up in
Hunter
that.
and County's average age is about 45, so as a
Wow,
whole.
we're a really sprightly group. I don't know what our average age is, but I think it's trended down, the average age, in the past couple
So
of
you
years.
are attracting younger members. to
Yes,
try
but
to
not
bring
like
that
20.
down.
Yeah, not the 22s. There's a few
No.
younger ones, but more probably in the early 30s. We're
Oh,
getting
really?
some of
Okay.
that. Yeah. So
there's a few
and
of
the
those.
good thing is some of them are active too. So
Well, before you know it, your 30-year-old kids will be jumping in.
yeah. Well, I got two girls, so
Well, there you go. You're out. Unless they marry somebody who wants to get involved.
we'll have to keep a good eye on them.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure they marry somebody that you like.
But that's I think a wonderful thing is if we can find a way to get younger people in their 30s and 40s. Some of these 40-year-olds, they've got maybe children that they aren't tied down with all the time anymore, and they're looking to get a little bit more socially active and find out, what's it like to be active in the community but not dragging a kid around, a toddler around.
Right.
This is a great opportunity for them to get back in. And we don't pressure guys to, you have to volunteer for 6 things per year, or you have to do this, you have to do that. We ask them to come in and first make themselves at home, and then we say, here's a bunch of stuff that we're doing. I always like to remind people that the more you get involved, the more fun you'll have. But you don't have to get involved. So there's not a lot of pressure in that regard. And you can come out once a month if you want and just listen to what's going on in the business meeting, and then have a beer and chat with some guys. That's okay. No one's going to say there's anything wrong with that. But again, if you do get involved with the parade committee, or you do get involved in the after party committee, or you do get involved in the dinner dance committee, it takes a little bit of your time, but then you feel that much more in touch and involved.
Yeah.
So it's casual but effective, and in the best case, I think, is you have fun doing some good for the community.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you hit on that attracts people to the organization is you don't have these rules that constrain them. It's like, okay, you join, you pay your $50, and you come when you can, and you participate in what you want to participate in,
Yeah.
and you don't have, like, unlike with Rotary, you have to be at a meeting, or you have to
X meetings per year to be active.
or you know, a lot of clubs, like the club I'm in, is very loose. But I can tell you the one that Bob's in is a little bit more. It's an older club, so they follow more of the traditional guidelines. But the club that I'm in, we just like whatever, you know, show up. If you can't come, then just
Yeah, we try not to have that
formality
the
of it.
formality and the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Because you can get things done faster without it. You know, people are in place to do things. And the biggest thing I found with the group after I joined is I really met a lot of people.
Well, you do.
It's just amazing
Yeah.
all the people that friends I've come out of this. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
And I even took myself a bit further, where I became we have your club level, and then you have a district, and I became the governor of the district. So that's Hunterdon, Middlesex, Mercer, Somerset, and Union counties.
Oh, I should have bowed when I came in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have.
That's a big district.
So it is. So
Some
my
legislators
point
would
being-
kill for that.
My
Yeah.
point being is that I had the opportunity to go around, well, and anybody does, but you know, most people don't do it on their own. But it forced me to go out and meet all these people from all these different clubs by doing that.
Yeah.
And so it's great because I know people all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's you know, the funny thing is you get so friendly with the guys. You call them up. You need a hand to move something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I need you for 5 minutes. I got to move this thing out of my basement in here. 4 guys are there. We're throwing up.
Yeah,
You know,
and
that's the way
one,
it is.
I think that's one of the pieces that's missing out of some of these more structured organizations is because it is so loose. You do become more friendly, and you will do things for each other.
Yeah. You know, like one of the guys says, "Hey, I'm going to go down and have a quick pint
Yeah.
at the you know, the old Cryans pub." Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he puts it out, you know, for a handful of people, and you
They
go
all
in
show
there, and
up.
there's 6 or 7 of them sitting there having a
Yeah.
pint. You know,
Better
just.
have your coin with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
I have
that
a
loose, you know.
Rotary
Hey,
coin. Does that
yeah.
work? I'm gonna try that now. And they're gonna everyone's gonna go, "What are you doing?"
What is that? Yeah, you're going to pay double. You're going to pay for 2 rounds with that one.
I like that. I'm gonna steal your idea. Talking about stealing ideas.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Challenge coin. Yep.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's yeah, and it's you know, it's just you get to meet people, and you know, a lot of the guys are, you know, business owners, and
Yeah,
you
so they're
might
getting
need
business
something.
out of it.
Yeah, you know, we don't like people to come in and try to peddle stuff at the meeting. But at the after, oh, you do that? You know, I really need some work. You know, a carpenter or a builder. Yeah, well, I need you. Well, let's talk.
There you go.
I bought my Christmas gifts at Bill's shop.
Well, there you are.
There
Well,
you
Bill's
go.
shop, yeah.
Wow, some nice Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Yes, that they are. And so that's, you know, and it's the way it is, yeah.
I bought a Christmas gift there too.
Well, I was running in, you know, in insurance. You know, I had to go look for insurance. I wasn't happy with the insurance people, and just a month ago, I talked to Kenny Carberry, and well, boom,
There you go.
I'm working with
Yeah,
him.
but you know his partner's a little shady.
No comment. Though I'll tell you, Rich was the first person to pay in the golf outing this past
There
year.
you go.
Yeah,
He's a
which
great
is
guy.
because I think he got cut out of it the last year or
Oh,
two.
really?
He just wait because that moves. That's pretty
Yeah.
got a
Yeah,
pretty
the
big.
golf outing, yeah.
So he made sure when it came out, I said, look. Putting your name on a list is one thing.
Yep.
You know, I look at it committed, but paid and committed are 2 things. I've been doing it too long. So he goes, all right, there's the check.
There you go.
I said, all right, you're done.
So talking about secret words, ask him one day how he likes being a DBG.
A DBG.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
tell you about that off air.
All right. We'll tell you what Chowderhead is.
Oh,
off
there
air.
you go.
yeah.
Wait, there's a challenge. Now I gotta get my Rotary. I'm gonna find my Rotary coin and I'm gonna challenge you guys at the after party.
We'll meet you at
Challenge it.
Cryans.
Well, that's all free beer. So
Yeah.
you
Oh,
don't
well,
have
that
to,
doesn't
yeah.
count.
Yeah, that
Okay.
does. I'll buy you all the beer there you
Yeah.
want.
Everybody wins that
I'll buy you
challenge.
2.
Not gonna run out, are you? Doing that, you may.
Yeah, well, yeah, have a good time.
Yeah.
We had one of our members walking around with a little bottle of the
A
nice.
Jameson.
No, he had some other Irish,
Oh, okay.
Irish or Scottish spirits.
There
He
you
was
go.
walking around. I said, "Get that away from me, Larry. Just get it away
That's
from
the
me."
flask. Everyone's gotta have their own flask.
It was a bottle. I was
Oh,
like,
okay. Different story.
yeah, it was a day. You keep that to yourself. I have to wake up in the morning.
Yeah. So if anyone would like to join your organization, they need to either go to the website or happen to know one of you.
Yes, and just ask. I mean, it's
Okay.
please. You don't need to be nominated to get
Yeah.
in. Just please ask, and you know
And the website again is
FSSPHunterdon.com. Yep.
Thank you guys so much for coming on and letting more people know about your organization. It sounds like a blast.
We have a good
And,
time. Yep.
We're going to steal some of your ideas.
Good.
Over here in
Come out to
Rotary.
the parade. Everybody
All
enjoy
right.
the parade.
Yeah, well, hopefully the weather will be nice.
Yeah. Well, it'll be nice inside at the firehouse.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's all.
That's for
We
sure.
always got to look at that.
Thank you again, and
All right,
thank you
thank
all
you.
for listening in and participating in today's show. You can catch it on the RotaryNJ.org website, and while you're on there, you can learn more about Rotary and where your local clubs meet. This is past District Governor Megan Jones Holt. Until next time, have a great week and make a difference in someone else's life.
Okay, mics are off.
Thank you.
All right, so it's Chowderhead.
That's what they said to Reagan.